This is going to be the demo for day 1 of your pesto lab, and in day 1 you're just going to make the sauce. So I have all of the ingredients here that you're going to be using for your pesto sauce, and we're going to be putting them into a food processor, which I'm going to show you how to use. So the first ingredient that we're putting into our food processor, we're just going to do 1/3 of the oil that we have, which will end up being 1/4 cup. So what you're going to do is you're going to take out this part of the food processor, and you're going to add 1/4 cup oil into the food processor. The rest of the oil is going to be used after you blend your other ingredients to smoothen it up a little bit, because the basil will make it a little bit tough along with the nuts. So what you're going to do next is you're going to just add the rest of your ingredients. And I've already chopped up some of the garlic here, but you're going to want to chop up all of it. The food processor is going to make it even smaller, so you don't need to worry about making it too tiny. It won't be an overwhelming flavor. You're just going to want to make it into large chunks, just like this. Okay. So I'm just going to add all of the ingredients that I have on here. So my garlic. This is the blend of Parmesan and Romano cheese. And then I have all of my basil. And my last ingredient, I'm going to add pine nuts. Okay, so to start your food processor, you're going to stick the top back on, and you're just going to let it blend a little bit before adding the oil. So I just press the pulse button here. And we'll be right back. So once you've blended it the first time, you can see that it's kind of built up here on the edges, so you're actually going to twist the top off just by moving it to the left from my point of view. And you're just going to scrape all of this down. And if you take a look at it, you can see that it's not very liquidy, so you're going to want to add more oil. And we're going to do that while we are pulsing it. So I'm going to screw the top back on, and I just click it back the way it was. And then I can actually just take off this part of the food processor, and while I'm pulsing it, I can add more oil. And I'm going to want to keep twisting off the top and making sure that I'm using my rubber scraper to get all of that down so it mixes up and chops very evenly. Okay, so now if I screw up the top, you can see that the consistency is a lot smoother. It actually looks like a pasta sauce. So when you guys are all done with your pesto sauce, what you're going to do is you're going to take it out, bag it, label it, and you're going to refrigerate it until tomorrow when you make your pasta. This is the demo for the second day of your pesto recipe. So yesterday you made the pesto sauce, and the first thing you're going to do today is you're going to cook the pasta. So when you come to class, the first thing you're going to do is boil water, and you're going to want to see rapid bubbles like this. Right now my heat is on high, but I'm just going to turn it down to medium high. And I'm going to add 2 cups of spaghetti into the bowl. So I'm going to let that soften a bit, and when I come back, I will show you how to get the rest of the spaghetti into the water. Okay, so once your pasta, the bit that's in the water, has softened a little bit from the boiling water, so you can still see the rapid bubbles on there, even though I lowered the temperature a bit. I'm just going to bend the pasta, but not snap it, because it's already softened, into the bowl, and I'm going to cook it until it's al dente. Okay, so now that my pasta has been boiling, I've been checking periodically, and you can look over here. I've taken some different pastas out. Al dente means it's still slightly firm, but not too wiggly, because then it will just break apart. So if you look at this one, you could still snap this one in half really easily. That's not al dente. And even this one is not cooked enough. But I'll show you what they look like once we strain them. So once it's done boiling and you've tested one to make sure that it is al dente, I'm going to take this over to the sink and just strain the pasta in there. And you want to make sure that the pasta is not too hard. So if you look at this one, you can see that it's not too hard. So I'm just going to pour some of this into the pasta. And you want to make sure that the pasta is not too hard. So if you look at this one, you can see that it's not too hard. So I'm just going to pour some of this into the pasta. And you want to make sure that the pasta is not too hard. So if you look at this one, you can see that it's not too hard. So I'm just going to pour some of this into the pasta. And you want to make sure that the pasta is not too hard. So if you look at this one, you can see that it's not too hard. So if you look at this one, you can see that it's not too hard. So if you look at this one, you can see that it's not too hard. So if you look at this one, you can see that it's not too hard. So if you look at this one, you can see that it's not too hard. So if you look at this one, you can see that it's not too hard. So if you look at this one, you can see that it's not too hard. So if you look at this one, you can see that it's not too hard. So if you look at this one, you can see that it's not too hard. So if you look at this one, you can see that it's not too hard. that you start running cold water on the pasta so that it doesn't continue to cook while sitting next to each other. So after you've made your spaghetti, you already have your pesto sauce from the day before. You're just going to take it out of the refrigerator and place it into a bowl. And you're going to have your pasta in another bowl. This is a lot less than what you will actually have. This is just one person's size. So I'm just going to add some of the pesto sauce in here, and you can add to your liking. And I'm just going to mix it around to make sure that all of the pasta is covered in the pesto sauce. And now it's all evenly covered. So now you can plate and present for photography.